Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and we are so glad you could join us here this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is. We got a great show in store for you because it is going to be a project we're going to be talking about that some of you may already have seen in your own communities, but I won't spill the beans quite yet. But Veterans Day is coming up next month, and this is going to be themed. Our theme is going to be Veterans Today. So stay tuned. I think you're going to enjoy the show. All right. So good afternoon. I said good afternoon to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. Thanks for tuning in Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. This show also has something to do with you because if you have friends or relatives from the Ripley area, you may want to know all about this. And if you don't, that's okay too, because when you see this program, you're going to say, hey, we want to do that in our town too. So this could be one of those things that you want to copy and duplicate because it's a very cool project we're going to be talking about. Oh, so much to talk about, and I'm going to talk as fast as I can because my buddy Rick Mascaro is going to be in studio anytime. And if you know anything about Rick, he just fills up the studio with his energy. So I got to get through this quick. All right, first of all, if you want to call in at any time today and you have an announcement, you want to share something, a birthday, anniversary, whatever, give us a call at 716-753-5225, and we'll be happy to get your information on the air throughout the week. If you want to email us at chautauquasunsrise@gmail.com, that's what these are all about. We'll get your event or fundraiser meeting, whatever it is, as long as it fits our parameters, we'll get it on the air for you. And speaking of anniversaries and birthdays, I want to do a special shout out to the Burt Boys, Chris and Randy. I'm told that this week is their 19th anniversary working here at Access Chautauqua. We used to call it Chautauqua Access. It used to be Channel 5. Now we're Channel 1301, but they've been intimately involved since Chris was a baby. I think he was just out of diapers working here. He was in high school, I think. And early on in the program. And Randy has been a cameraman. Chris has been all things here, and now my director of the show here. So happy anniversary, guys. I want to do a shout out to a restaurant, 90 years old, Clarko's in Westfield. If you haven't been there in a while, we were there just last night, and they're going strong after 90 years. Great food, good prices, and I don't usually do ads. So this isn't an ad. This is a celebration, a congratulatory note. Clarko's in Westfield over on Market Street. Congratulations. And speaking of old, almost as old, Jeff Zook has a birthday today. I can't tell you how old he is, but he's climbing close to Clarko. All right. So anyways, Jeff, have a great day. He's our main engineer here and does a lot of cool things in the background and makes this all look pretty cool. Speaking of which, thanks, Justin, for decorating my table here. I have barely any room to move. I got pumpkin head here, rats and mice and skeletons and all kinds of stuff. And while we're on the topic, and let's see if I can do this. It's this hand here. Behind me is our pink ribbon to remind all of you that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we talk about this every single year. A subject that's near and dear to my heart because I mentioned last week, my mother was a breast cancer survivor and had to go through a mastectomy and so forth back in the 70s, I think it was. A lot of that surgery is now not necessary anymore with all new kinds of techniques and so forth. So, what's the message? Get over to your doctors, get over to your hospitals, your clinics, whatever it is. Get your mammograms. Whatever your doctor tells you, do it. Get early prevention, and a lot of this can be taken care of without a big deal. And also, men, you are not free of this problem. If you have any concerns, something not quite right on your chest or your breast, get it checked out. Westfield Memorial Hospital, just down the road, has prosthetic breasts that you can actually manipulate, and you can feel lumps in there and so forth, nodules, and you can say, oh, is that what it feels like? That's what I'm looking for. You got it. So get it checked out. Okay, I talked about that. I want to say good morning to all my friends over in the Ukraine. Natalia and company, hang in there. Our friends in Israel, hang in there. I'm at loss for any of this right now, folks. I don't know what to say. I look at the news and I'm in shock. So I just hope that both situations come to a quick solution and a good ending. There is no good ending, I guess. And nobody wins in these situations, but just stop the madness. All right. So our hearts go out to all you folks in the Ukraine and of course now Israel and Gaza. I don't care what side you're on, just stop it. All right. Moving ahead. Oak Island Plus, number 6 has been released this week. Jim McQuiston and I produced our 6th video podcast on the Oak Island concept right down the road at Innovation Studio in Westfield at the Lakeshore Center for the Arts. And we're happy to let you know that we are almost getting like 12,000 views so far, so we're very excited about that. So you can find us here on this web page, or Facebook page, or you can go to YouTube and look up Oak Island Plus, and you're going to see me in a whole different light as we go through various aspects of Oak Island. Okay, moving ahead. This is grape harvest season, and if you haven't traveled along the lakeshore lately, please be very careful, especially at nighttime. You've got the grape growers, they are picking grapes 24/7, and sometimes in this kind of weather, kind of gross this morning, in rain, it's dark at night, they got trailers crossing the roads, you got tractors coming and going. Please just be careful, slow down if you see anything like that. And I won't digress on that, but it's a busy season right now all along Route 20 and 5 and some of the side roads. Okay, and right along with that, and I have a piece on this in a bit, tick season. My dogs came in yesterday, and one I watched and one of my own, Mr. Brody, that you see every week on the intro. Ticks. I had one on me yesterday, and my wife won't touch them, so I'm the tick master. But watch out for those guys because they do carry diseases sometimes. And if you get one on you, call your doctor, and they'll tell you what to do. Usually it's no big deal, but it's tick season. All right. I got a bunch of announcements here to go through. I think I've covered everything I want to talk about there. So let's go quick because I do have my guests that are in the wings coming up, and I don't want anybody to forget about that. On Friday, November 9, Infinity will celebrate 25 years of creative youth programming in Chautauqua County with a student performance and birthday celebration in the Infinity Arts Cafe. Lots of celebrations, Justin. The event begins at 7 p.m. and will feature the musical performances by Infinity students. The Infinity Arts Cafe performance entrance is located at 300 East 3rd Street through the doors of the old post office. Look for the signs in the neon guitar. All right, if you have any questions, give Stephanie Rogers a call at 716-450-1474. 450-1474. 25 years. I remember when they were founded. We've had a great relationship with them, and they will be here for the holiday season doing some performances for us. So that's a little sneak preview. Okay, we're going to skip that one for a minute. And let's see here, because I got some guests that are going to cover that. All right, let's go to slide 16, Jeff. The Sunshine Charitable Fund. If you remember, Alex Conti was on here some time ago. This is a very, very unique and special project where these folks raise money to provide funding for a very sad cause. This is if a child under the age of 18 passes away within the family. They provide some funding to help with funeral costs and so forth. And I know you might say, well, what a sad situation, but many people find themselves in a situation where these costs are really unbearable, and these guys are out there supporting families throughout the county. So what is this all about? It's their second annual Monte Carlo night. It's going to be held October 14th, which is today, at the Sheridan VFW over in Silver Creek on the main road. It's held from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Doors open at 4:30. Games of chance begin at 6 p.m. There's no admission fee. Free hors d'oeuvres, music, basket raffle, and all kinds of things. All proceeds help support their mission of defraying the cost of funeral expenses for families that lose a child. All right, so then we have slide 17. Let's bring that through. And let's see, safe sleep practices. All right, now this seems like an odd one, but it's October is Safe Sleep and Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. Boy, it's putting some awareness on this. You hear about this every once in a while. As part of their work to prevent disease, promote health, and protect the safety of the community, the Chautauqua County Health Department, Community Health and Coroner Divisions offer simple tips to provide safe sleep for infants. A baby's death due to unsafe sleep practices and SIDS is tragic, heartbreaking, and often preventable. Yet over 90 infants die each year in New York State due to these circumstances. Safe Sleep Awareness Month serves as a reminder to not allow infants to sleep with parents or caregivers. Stay in their own crib. The infants cannot roll over or uncover blankets from their face, placing them at greater risk of suffocation. As a dad of 5 kids, this is Michael Falk talking now. As a dad of 5 kids myself, I personally understand the motivation or temptation to co-sleep with an infant, but the practice has resulted in tragic consequences right here in our own county. So please think about it, that even though you might want to be close to your little baby, not a good idea. Let them sleep in their own cribs. All right, I mentioned ticks, so let's talk about that real quick. This fall, protect against ticks and Lyme disease. Fall is a great time of year to get outside and explore the natural beauty of Chautauqua County, and the local health department encourages residents to take precautions while enjoying outdoor activities to prevent tick bites. As part of their work to prevent disease, promote health, and protect the safety of the community, the Chautauqua County Health Department advises residents to check for and properly remove ticks, understand the symptoms of Lyme disease, and know when to call your medical provider. Not all ticks can cause disease, of course, and not all tick bites will make you sick, but it's important to learn how to prevent the bite, how to remove a tick, and what to do if you were exposed to a tick-borne disease, according to Jessica Wurtzel, who is the Director of Environmental Health here in the county. Lyme disease has more than doubled in Chautauqua County since 2014. Lyme disease is caused by the bacteria. I'm not going to even try to say it. It's a long Latin word, but it can be spread to humans when infected by the black-legged tick known as deer tick. All right, so what are some things they want you to do? Wear light-colored clothing, wear enclosed shoes and long pants. Check clothes when you come back in from outdoors. I had one on me yesterday. Little bugger was running down my arm. I got him. Consider using insect repellent such that contains DEET. Stay open, well-traveled trails. In other words, don't go through the high brush. Those little critters just wait and jump on you. Avoid sitting directly on the ground or stone walls, Justin. Keep long hair tied back. Bathe or shower as soon as possible after coming in from outdoors. And then, of course, ask your spouse or significant other, look me over. I always have Barb check me out. It's like, is there anything on my neck or back? Because I can't see back there. And I got to be honest with you, I've had 2 ticks attach themselves to me over the years, and it's not a pleasant experience to find them hooked to you because it's just kind of weird. So you got to look for that rash. And for those of you who can't see me right now because you're listening on the radio, it looks like a round ring with a rash. And this is serious stuff because Lyme disease can cause debilitating conditions in your life. So please, if you are concerned about ticks, call your doctor if you get a rash like that right away. Don't wait. Let's continue on. Let's go to the Reg Linné. Jeff, the Reg Linné Center for the Arts will show Haunted Mansion and Stop Making Sense. Inspired by the classic theme park attraction Haunted Mansion, about a woman and her son who enlist a motley crew of so-called spiritual experts to help rid their home of supernatural squatters. The film is rated PG-13. It's 123 minutes long. The newly restored in 4K to coincide with its 40th anniversary, Stop Making Sense, that will be shown on October 18th at 7 p.m. Was directed by renowned filmmaker Jonathan Demme and is considered by many critics as the greatest concert film of all time. The film stars Talking Heads, David Byrne, Tina Weymouth, Chris Frantz, and Jerry Harrison, along with Bernie Worrell, oh my gosh, Alex Weir, Steve Scales, Lynn Mabry, and Edna Holt. Why are they giving these long names? The live performance was shot over the course of 3 nights at Hollywood Pantages Theater and so forth. So anyways, and then that's showing up on October 18th. And then the Rocky Horror Picture Show will be held, of course, every year like they always do, Friday, October 27th at 10 p.m. And that's all at the Reg, $7 for tickets. They had $1 for the theater restoration, so check that out. All right, we got a little request from Westfield Golden Hawks. Okay, let's get that up. Cheer and football are collecting pennies and any other spare change you might have during the month of October to raise funds for the Westfield Memorial Hospital's breast cancer project. They'll be collecting bottles and cans to be turned in for donations as well. Donations can be given to any cheerleader, player, or coach from now through October 31. Join the fight. There is power in the pink. So that's over in Westfield if you're associated with the school, cheerleaders and football players and anybody that works there. All right, then let's go to slide 21, gala event that I will be emceeing. I've been asked to be the Masters of Ceremony for the Women of Distinction Gala, which is going to be held this Thursday, October 19th, and it's still not too late. This is being sponsored through the Westfield YWCA, and it's going to be at the Athenaeum in Chautauqua Institution, and you can go to the YWCA Westfield's website, and you can get your tickets there. 7 women, that many of which I know, of whom I know, will be honored that evening, and it's going to be lots of fun. And starts at 6 o'clock for a social, 7 o'clock dinner. It's a sit-down dinner, and we had a little meeting the other day, so we're going to have some fun with a bunch of trivia things and so forth. So if you're interested, Women of Distinction Gala this coming Thursday evening. All right. And while I was talking, my good friends from the Westfield Fund of Westfield, New York, and someone you have seen here from time to time, Rick Mascaro and Sue Poster, are here to join me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That is the quietest you have ever come into my studio, ever.
Since I'm here with a different organization, I thought I would behave myself when I came in and pretend like I was a normal human being.
Okay, remember when he wants to talk, either you talk louder or you got to hand it over him like an ice cream cone.
Got it.
Oh.
Okay, because I've been I was given that
Oh.
message to tell you.
You can't hear me?
Thanks, Jeff, for that. So why are you here today? Something about the Westfield Fund. What's it all about?
Well, we're here about the Westfield Fund, which is part of the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. We're one of their community funds, and we raise funds to help nonprofits. And we're looking for donations.
As in money.
Yes, yes.
You hopefully have seen signs in people's yards throughout Westfield that says Westfield Fund.
I have.
And wondered, what the heck is a Westfield Fund? Well, it's kind of the groundwork for doing all the good things that happen in Westfield. People give money to help fund different projects throughout the community, such as what, Sue? Such as
The mural,
the mural in Westfield that just went up.
Lakeshore Center for the Arts got money for that.
Yeah.
The YWCA got money for their gym. We gave money to the Union Relief for children's toys. We've given money to Center Stride to help with their projects. And it's a good organization, and all the money stays in Westfield, which is really important.
Well, you know, I'm from Ripley, and the Ripley has its Heritage Community Fund,
Right.
and it's very similar, where you collect the money and it never gets spent. The interest gets spent. Is that the same as
Correct.
yours?
The
Same
same
thing.
So, like, if you had $1 million, you would only take, let's say, $10,000 off. I'm making this up as I go. But
We
the same
don't
idea.
have $1 million, so.
2 million? You wish. Well, anyways, that's the thing that people got to realize, that the money isn't spent down, it is the interest, not the
Right.
principal.
Exactly.
And the more you build that, the more interest you make,
Right.
and the more you spend. So, do you have a particular drive going on right now, or is this why you're here today, or?
Well, there's a pancake breakfast on October 22nd for the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. That's going to be at Applebee's in Dunkirk. Tickets are $10. If anybody wants one, contact me. And I have to sell them by Monday. And that's to raise funds. And anything that we sell goes back to Westfield. But it's to fund the whole Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, which
Right.
helps the entire county.
So, if I know a lot about the foundation, because you and I both sit on the board there. Within the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation are a number of smaller funds, like the Ripley Fund, the Westfield Fund, and so forth. But they're like the parent, the umbrella. So whatever you raise stays in your fund.
Right.
Rick, you want to say something?
I just think it's important for people to know that a lot of people stay at home and they go to things in the community and they say to themselves, well, how do I become involved? How can I help these kind of things? What can I do? This is what you can do, is give some money to
Give
the
me a
Westfield
heart
Fund.
attack.
I'm sorry, Doc. I didn't mean to give you a
Jeez
heart attack.
Louise.
As old as you are, we don't want you having a heart attack on here.
No.
We need you.
It's good to know.
But it's a great way for those of you that don't know how to help what goes on in Westfield to help things that go on in Westfield. And if you live in Westfield, you know there's a lot of things that happen, and most of them happen through the love and donations of organizations such as this one.
Okay.
So please donate.
So how do they donate? How do they do this?
We have a website.
Okay.
I sent the information in, but it's nccfoundation.org/Westfield.
So go to the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation's website and look up the Westfield Fund,
community.
community funds. Okay, and do you have a target or anything like this? All seriousness, I mean, are you trying to collect a certain amount, or is it just any
No,
old thing?
we just want money.
What's the smallest you can donate?
$5
Okay, so this is
or $1.
This anybody can donate. This isn't for big philanthropists. And
No,
so, like Rick.
this past spring
Like me.
this past spring we sold used school desk sets. The Westfield Academy and Central School donated 103 sets to us, and we made some money off of those, and we still have sets to sell. We'll be doing that again next year.
Okay. And I know you guys were involved with the firemen, first responders monument
Yes,
too, right?
we were.
So, and that's what people don't realize is very often in our communities you think, well, someone should do this or someone should do that. It's like, okay, how's that? Well, sometimes these kinds of funds can fill in some of those blanks because, we're always saying, well, don't raise taxes. Well, how do these things get done? you know?
Exactly.
And it's funny you should mention that particular project because that project made us aware of the Westfield Fund because it sat, I hate to say dormant, but it sat dormant for probably 10 or so years and everybody forgot about it. And all of a sudden somebody said, hey, what about, and they mentioned this fund, and it's become active again and has become very influential in helping organizations in Westfield.
Very cool. And if you get the movers and shakers together, things happen, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, real quick, is anything happening at Lakeshore Center for the Arts besides Oak Island Plus?
Oak Island what? Oh, I'm sorry. Just
Nice
kidding
try,
you.
nice
Just
try.
kidding you.
Anything that you want to give a quick plug? Because we got to go here in a minute.
Yes, our writers group is very active. We have a lot of things going on in the innovation studio that you're using.
Yep.
And we have Libby Sherino is reviving the Wonderful Life
Oh, we
this
are?
year. Yes.
Oh,
Did you know that?
well, she asked me
Did you
about
put
it.
it on your calendar?
Yeah, I don't have a date yet, so we'll talk about
Okay.
that when the time comes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
But
'cause-
that's coming up again. And
Cool.
We're excited
All
about that.
right.
And there's also one more important, dear to my heart event going on, and we're in the middle of the One Act Festival again.
Okay, and we'll talk
for
more
this
about
year.
that as we go along.
Yeah, we will. I just want everybody to know, if you have a One Act that you'd like to submit, it's time.
Okay.
Go to our
Well, Rick
website.
Mascaro, Sue Poster, thanks for dropping in and talking about the Westfield Fund and all good things in Westfield. We got to say goodbye because I have a guest that we're going to get to in a minute. So, Jeff, let's roll that film and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Okay. Thank you very much.
They said I have troll
Okay.
teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Thank you, Rick. Well, folks, I truly want to support any kind of community fund. And right now, I want to introduce a friend of mine, someone I've known for many, many years. Our sons went to school together. Our kids went to school together. We've known each other. Dave Bauer, who's the commander of the VFW post in Ripley. Morning, Dave. Dave, I got to move this pumpkin. I feel like sorry, Justin, but I got this. Holy cow, what does this thing weigh? It's huge. You can see right there. There we go. Okay, so anyways, good morning.
Good morning.
So, Dave, you and I have been talking about a project that we're going to get to here in a minute for a few months now, and Veterans Day is coming up in November, November 11th, and you've been extremely active in Ripley regarding veterans. So, why are you involved with the veterans? Can you get? Oh, there we go.
Well, I've had people come up to me and says, we've been through other towns and seen veterans banners.
Uh-huh.
And they said, why can't you guys do something? I said, well, yeah, I guess we can. So I at the meetings at our post, I just brought it up to the members and they said, yeah, let's go with it. And so I got in contact with the people that do the banners and they gave me all the information, told me what I had to do. And that's when I contacted you.
Right.
Because it's going to be a lot of computer work and stuff on it. And, you travel through Chautauqua County and through the different towns, and you do see the banners up. And they really look nice, and it's a way to honor our military.
And we're going to get to that here in a few minutes, but let's talk about Dave Bauer a bit. You've got your uniform on today, and you got all kinds of little medallions and medals and things.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And you served in Vietnam?
I served in Vietnam from August 67 to August 68.
Okay, and where were you stationed?
I served with the 135th Heavy Equipment Maintenance in Cameron Bay for 9 months. And I went TDY in the field for the 1st of 69th Armored 4th Infantry Division. My MOS was wheel and track mechanic. So they sent me out in the field to work on tanks.
Oh boy.
Well, that lasted for about a week, and I ended up being a gunner on a tank
Oh jeepers.
for the rest of my tour.
You say, wait a minute, that's not what I signed up for.
No, but it was a good experience. I'm glad I did it. There's some very tense moments sometimes.
I bet.
But we came through okay.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're here to talk about it, Dave. I'm gonna gush over you a little bit in the sense as you and a couple other guys, and I'm not gonna mention everybody. There's a handful of you folks that are veterans that really have stepped up in Ripley over, I'd say, the last 15 years maybe, and you've done some really great work in honoring veterans from our community, and people. I joke about this all the time, but if I were to go to Jamestown and ask 100 people in Jamestown, where's Ripley, 98% of them would say Ohio. They don't realize Ripley's part of Chautauqua County.
Right.
And I laugh about it. I just said this to the folks in Cherry Creek the other day when I was out there playing. I said, Cherry Creek and Ripley have the same distinction. Nobody knows where we are. They think we're in different counties, but Ripley's part of Chautauqua County, and a very long time, back into the early 1800s. So where I'm going with this is that when you come to Ripley and you go to the Four Corners, you can't help but see the honor and pride that Ripley has for their veterans. And it's because of you guys.
Right. That's all came about through Roger Testrake. He approached me one day and says, we got to do something for the veterans. I says, okay, what do you have in mind? He says, well, I thought about getting a tank or something to put in the school lawn.
Of course.
I says, wait a minute, Roger, I don't think the tank would be a good idea on the school property. And he says, well, maybe we come up with a museum or something. And I said, well, you got to look at what kind of building we're going to have, the cost and stuff. I says, let's try something else.
Yep.
And he mentioned that during World War II, in front of the bank, they had a sign listed all the men and women that served in World War II. He says, and we got together and said, well, why can't we do something to honor them, some kind of monument? And working with the town board, the school board, Bob McIntosh helped us with it, with the design on it. And through Senator Young at the time, was able to give us a grant, and everything's just started to go. We started in August of 2008 with the project, and November 11th of 2008 is when we did the dedication. So it took a lot of work, a lot of community support, and it came about, and I think it turned out really good.
I think you'll agree with me on this, is that if you go up to this memorial, it's a Veterans Memorial, really.
Well, it's a monument. Because a lot of the guys are still living.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay. So it's honoring. Okay. And I think people would be surprised when they look at all the names listed, how many people from Ripley served. I mean, Ripley isn't that big, but it must have been a ghost town at one point. Yeah. But it spans a variety of wars and situations where men and women have gone into service. And I'm the town historian, as you know, and I believe that we actually have someone that served in the Revolutionary War and every campaign thereafter, War of 1812 and so forth. Right. I think we even have somebody from the Spanish-American War, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So, I mean, you folks have really taken pride and energy and time to honor those. And I thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
And especially because we have 3 generations of our own family that are involved with that monument in memorial.
Right. We have, I think, 960 some names.
How is that possible?
It's a lot of work. A lot of people, once they found out what we're doing, gave us the information.
Right.
And it fell into place. And then after we get the monument done, we came up with a Wall of Valor.
Yes.
Men and women, the Purple Heart, KIAs, Bronze Stars, Silver Stars, Medal of Honor.
All the different branches in their own words, yeah.
Right. And we do have one Civil War Medal of Honor veteran on there, which is buried out in
John Haight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Buried out in East Ripley Cemetery.
Yeah. So lots of historical pride and honor for our community, and not just here. Mayville has theirs, Westfield has theirs, but we're talking Ripley today.
Right.
And so, are you still taking names for that?
We are, but it's going to take. We're running out of space. We do have a few more names, but I'm not sure how we're going to add the names to it. and it's quite expensive to replace the names on there.
So, folks, if what Dave's referring to is there's panels, I guess you call them, they're lit,
Yep.
and on there are these long rolls of names, starting at the top to the bottom, the person's name, their rank, and where they
date.
served, right, and the dates. So, lots of information, and there's over 900 people, you said?
Yeah, 960 some names.
Right, and so, you know, I suppose you just make it a little smaller, squeeze them in somehow or
Yeah.
whatever, or get another panel. And, you know, it's when you go up to see the awards, the medals that people receive, the Silver Star, the Bronze Stars, Purple Hearts, and you see the names, some of them folks are still around.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's just like, you're kidding me. I did not know that person, you know, had this many awards or where, and you guys are so quiet about it. You know, seriously. I mean, I've never known a veteran who walked into any place that I've ever been and says, hey, by the way, you know, I got this and this and this. Nobody talks about it.
No.
You guys are quiet. You would never know it. And so I'm so impressed by that all the time.
Yeah. Well, your son's name's on there.
Yeah, he is.
Purple Heart, Bronze Star. So.
Yes, he is. And he never talks about it either. So we're very proud of him too. Okay, so I guess what I'm saying here is that Ripley has a strong history of late and earlier, but even more so lately, of really honoring the work and the efforts and that people have put to support our country in a variety of ways. And it's not political, they just serve and so forth.
Right.
And so now you and I had this discussion. Somehow or another, you invited me to a meeting of your VFW as town historian, and the next thing I know, I'm involved. That's the job of the historian, and as it should be. So let's talk a little bit how this whole process took place. So you guys were looking for photographs, and you said they're 8x11s, and they were hanging up in the old VFW. Where was that at?
It was American Legion Hall.
American Legion Hall. That's
Right.
the confusion I always have.
Right.
So it was something not the VFW. So where was that located? That was right by the supermarket, wasn't it?
Right, right, yep.
I think I was there once with the kids and then got knocked down or something.
Right,
How long ago was that?
Oh, 1980, late 80s, I think. when we
Okay,
got
so
knocked down.
I was really there then. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so these pictures were hung up, and what pictures were they?
From World War I to World War II.
Okay.
And when the building was taken down, Mrs. Barden and Mrs. Marie McCutcheon, at that time, the historian, did all that work. They put all the pictures in albums and put them in the town building.
Right. And so you guys said, we're looking for these pictures. They're this big, and I searched everywhere for them and could not find them.
Exactly.
So people were saying, well, what pictures are they of? Well, if I'm not mistaken, these pictures are what you would have given the county at the time you were discharged honorably, and you would file that with your DD 214?
Yes.
See, I got this stuff down
Yep.
pretty good. So people, they're watching right now. If you're interested in finding a photograph of someone from that era, the county does have some records of that. And if you're a veteran, we talk about this. Greg Carlson is on my show quite often for veterans. If you're a veteran and you haven't done this, file your DD 214 with the county, because there will come a point in time where that is important information,
Yes.
right?
Yes, most definitely.
So I preach veteran services here big time. All right, so the rest of the story goes, you guys asked me for those photos, and I could not find 8x11 photos. So one day you said to me, we searched the basement, we searched all my records, and I said, just a minute. And I go to a cupboard, and I pull out these albums with 5x7s, and lo and behold, that was what you
it.
were looking at, a complete history of all those gentlemen and women that served all those years. And they just happened to be in a 8x11 frame, not a 8x11 picture. So I can't begin to tell you how happy I was that day we found those.
Well, sometimes your memory kind of
absolutely
can't focus on what used to be, you know.
Right.
So,
right.
but,
You know.
I'm glad we found them. We used to put them out on Memorial Day at the dinner. And display them, and people will look at them.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. So you got the monument, memorial, whatever you want to. It's kind of a combination things in the middle of town. You can't miss it. Right. It's on the right-hand side as you're going towards Erie, right in front of the school. It's beautiful. It's very, very well done. But you do other things for veterans throughout the year, right?
Right. Well, Memorial Day, we do the Memorial Day service. We do it East Ripley Cemetery. The Firemen's Auxiliary put on a luncheon for all veterans and their spouses at noon. We have the parade at 1:30. Then we have service at the Quincy Cemetery where we have a guest speaker. At one time you were.
Actually, twice I've been the speaker there in different roles.
Right.
And you know, and folks that are watching right now, as town historian, if you recall, the last time I spoke at that service, Ripley has been doing this exact same Memorial Day service for over 100 years. I think I got you back to like 1917 or whatever it was. It was over 100 years, and started at the East Ripley Cemetery, had a luncheon, there was the school kids paraded, there was a parade at 1:30. I mean, it was like, are you kidding me? I had no idea that was as long-standing as it had been. Great history, and again, honoring veterans all those years.
I've been involved with Memorial Day since 1971, 72, marching the color guard. And then eventually I took over as getting everything organized for the last 25, 30
It's got to be
years.
that long, because I know I've been, you and I have seen each other all these years. All right, so that's Memorial Day. Then what else do you do?
Veterans Day service. We have a short service at the monument. Sometimes we have guest speakers. Sometimes we don't.
And 99% of the time it's raining.
Right. Last year we got rained out.
I remember.
We did a short prayer, a few minutes, and we said.
I always pull up on the opposite side of the road and I wait. Wait to see if it's going to rain or not for some reason.
So hopefully this year we'll have a dry day and be able to put it on. Other projects we do, Roger Testick Scholarship Memorial.
Oh, okay.
Is awarded to a graduating senior at Ripley, where they go to Chautauqua
Right,
School.
they're still a Ripley student.
Ripley student, or the Sherman School.
Oh, okay.
So we do that every year. I do the Voice Democracy.
Oh, yeah, I used to be one of your judges, remember?
Right, and Patriots Pin every year.
Yeah.
Patriots Pin from 6th grade to 8th grade, then Voice Democracy.
No, wait a minute, is it the Patriots Pen, is that something new? I don't remember.
No, that's been...
Oh, I wasn't involved with that one.
No.
How did I escape that?
I really didn't do the Patriots Pin until after, I guess, when the seniors, or the high school went to Chautauqua Lake.
All right, gotcha.
And one of the teachers says, hey, there's a Patriots Pin out there. Can we do that?
Yeah,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Sure.
So I got that started, and that goes from 6th to 7th and 8th grade, and Voice Democracy 9 through 12. This past year, we didn't have a Voice Democracy. We only had 3 VOD winners, or Patriot Pin winners.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dwindled down from what we used to have.
Kind of goes up and down, I suppose,
Yeah,
over the years.
depending on
the interest
Voice
level.
Democracy, there's like a $30,000 scholarship out there for the national winners.
Yeah.
And
We've had some folks go with the state level, as I recall. Right?
Yeah. There's a lot of money out there for both programs. And it just kind of irks me a little bit that the students don't participate in it.
Right.
And I know there's the teachers have their schedules already set up and stuff.
Right.
But I keep it going.
Great. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Good.
And then each year, in December, January, I get with the fire chiefs, and they tell me who they want to nominate for a Fireman of the Year or paramedic and stuff, and I give them an award at the banquet.
I guess I wasn't aware of that one.
Yeah, I've been doing that for, I think this is be the 6th year.
Okay, well, that's why I'm not aware of it.
Yeah,
I used to be a fire commissioner. You weren't doing it then.
So, yeah, we do a few
You're
things.
very
in public,
involved.
so.
Yeah. Well, good for you. And now, how many folks are in your legion, or your post?
We have 33 right now.
Okay.
We just lost a member in August.
Okay.
Ron Wise passed
Oh,
away.
right.
So,
And it makes no difference what branch of the service you're in, right?
No.
And do you have to have been in war?
Yeah, a conflict overseas.
Okay. So what if you were stateside all that time?
You could probably join the Legion.
The Legion.
American
Okay,
Yeah.
I never can get those things straight.
Yeah.
Okay. So VFWs for overseas, and the American Legion is anybody?
Yeah,
I don't mean
basically,
anybody, but I mean it's a little bit
For
more
the
broad.
military, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you meet?
We meet at courtroom in the town building.
Which is part of the school.
It's part of school, the fourth Thursday of every month
Okay.
at 10:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So,
All right. And how does someone that might be listening right now, do you have to be a resident of Ripley?
no,
Okay. Anywhere?
anyway.
Okay. And
I got members, well, my brother-in-law lives in West Virginia. Remember, my
Okay.
wife's cousin lives in Kentucky.
Okay.
I signed him up. So,
of course you did.
yeah, and so,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. So what are the dues and things like that?
dues are $34 a year.
$34 a year. A whole whopping $34.
Yep.
That's got to be one of the cheapest organizations I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you can buy your life membership, depends on your age, what it costs.
Great.
So,
I think three of our family members, I think, are part of the the VFW, right?
yeah, Artie Wright.
Scott and
Scott.
Bill Molson.
Well, I think Bill belongs to the Westfield Post.
Oh, okay. All right. It could be. I think
Yeah.
you're right. All right.
Yeah.
So if they're interested, they just give you a contact. Is there any way, how do people contact you?
Phone number, 716-736-5805. On the bookworm, I put it on there.
Okay, and that's what we call our town online newsletter, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you always can contact the town clerk's office, right?
Right.
Or me at the
Right.
town historian. We
Right.
can get that
Or
information.
any of our members.
Right, right. Okay, super. All right, well, we sort of laid the groundwork now for Ripley, and you guys are not unique, because I know I've traveled a lot throughout the country, and veterans in many, many places are honored in very similar ways. But let's now talk about the Hometown Heroes project that you started to talk about. Sure. So someone contacted you and says, hey, these guys have these banners. Jeff, do we have some of those pictures that we can kind of just see a few of them? And so people can, there we go. So Dave, why don't you just describe what you guys are talking about and thinking about? There's some pictures up there on the monitor right now that people can see.
Okay. If they want to see what we've picked out, they can contact me. Our banners are going to be 18 by 36 inches. We can put an 8 by 10 photo on the banners. We have applications. That's very simple application. Rank, first name, last name, branch of service, what year you served, and if you have anything like Bronze Star, Silver, Purple Heart, or anything like that, you can put that on there. And then just turn the application and your picture in to me or one of our members, and the cost is $160.
Okay, so what do you get for $160?
You get the banner,
That includes the hardware. Okay.
mounting brackets.
Okay, here's an example over in Randolph. Is that Randolph, New York, I'm assuming? Well, we don't know. All right, so there's an 8 by 10 picture.
Yeah.
Okay. And that, in our case, it would say Ripley, hometown hero.
Yes.
Then the person's name, and obviously there's their ranks. In this case, it's a sergeant. Their branch of service, the years. And is this going to be the same thing, basically? Basically like that? Not exactly, but basically.
Yep.
All right, and then what campaign or war they were in. So when I say hardware, why don't you explain to folks what that means and how it will be used?
Okay, the mounting brackets will go on the telephone poles. What we're going to do, we're going to put them on the sidewalk side of the poles.
Okay, so not the street side.
Right.
Okay.
Because they get the American flags out, and sometimes the
Christmas.
and the senior pictures go up and stuff.
Oh, that's right. I was wondering how you're going to deal with that.
On that.
Well,
So
that's
we
smart.
decided we'll go on the sidewalk side. They consist of brackets that clamp around the telephone pole, and then the brackets come out and slide the banners on.
Okay. So for $160, you get this wonderful banner, and it's like 36 inches?
18 by 36.
So it's a good size.
Right.
And there's a picture of there's another example.
Right.
Very good. And that one's in a circle, but yours is going to be more in a square, I think,
Yes.
right? And then the brackets that go with that, and then who's going to do the mounting?
Well, we haven't decided yet. I think that Town Highway is going to help me. We're something that we're still working out.
So working out. Okay, we're going to get to that in a minute because we have a phone call.
Okay.
Hey, good morning, caller.
Good morning, Jack. This is Linda Spalding.
Hi, Lynn.
Good morning, Dave.
Morning.
Dave, thank you for laying your life down for me and for the rest of our country. There's no greater love. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And the fact that you are a Vietnam veteran, I I had a lot of friends who were in the Vietnam War, and thank you for going into that war. And my dog is cheering you on too. I
I hear him in the background.
And so thank you very much. I have the utmost respect and appreciation for our veterans and our military. And I don't want to hold up your talk, so have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, stay dry, Lynn, and thanks for calling.
You too. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know, I want to interject something right now. You and I are pretty much in the same generation. And I spoke to this in my very first talk when I spoke on Memorial Day. And, you know, anybody that's watching right now can argue with me. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Many guys were drafted and they went to Vietnam. Some of us guys stayed back in college or got our deferment. We watched the news, and they were putting a really negative spin on it. You know, that the guys in the Army were doing this and that and the other. And guys back here, we were, you know, trying to say, you know, stop the war and all this other stuff. And they were creating this divide. That's the only thing I can think of between you and me. Mm-hmm. Not you and me personally, but the soldiers and the non-soldiers, or military, non-military. And so the war got very, very unpopular. Mm-hmm. And then when y'all came home, it wasn't very good.
No.
You know? And so I'm letting you know that right this minute, and I have continued this for years now, that I personally thank all the Vietnam veterans for their service, because when you came home, you didn't get the ticker tape parade. You didn't get all the thank yous that you deserved. And so thank you. And that goes right now to all veterans of Vietnam and any other situation where you weren't congratulated and thanked appropriately, because it was not a good situation. Right. And we were lied to, quite frankly. Yep. And I think everybody on your side of the situation saw us as a bunch of crazy, hairy hippies, not realizing that we were lied to. Mm-hmm. And I argue with anybody who wants to. I mean, we were told things that were not true, as it turns out. So anyway, I do everything I can through my program here to support veterans here in Chautauqua County and elsewhere. And that's why it's so important for me to have you here today to talk about honoring our hometown heroes. All right, so I just wanted you to know that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So $160 for a banner. You fill out this form. Now, the question is, who fills out the form if the person's from World War II and they're not with us anymore?
A family member,
Okay.
a relative, a friend, whoever has the information can do it for us.
And who's eligible to be on this banner?
Any veteran.
Any veteran?
Well, hometown.
Hometown.
Hometown veteran.
So what does hometown mean? They had to be born and raised in Ripley, lived in Ripley at some point in time?
Lived in Ripley at some point in time.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I got to make a note of that.
Yep.
Okay, so we had a situation, and I won't mention any names, and you know who I'm talking about. It's a good situation, so it's not a bad situation. They came down to my office and they said, we need a picture of their dad. Mm-hmm. And I said, where are they from? And they told me from another town. And I said, I probably don't have their picture because they weren't from Ripley. We searched anyways, and I tried. I went on the internet and looked for pictures and so forth. And so I guess where I'm going with this is, if there's somebody from a hometown, whether it's Ripley or wherever in the county, and you're trying to find a picture, it may not be where you think it is.
Right.
So after we gave them a variety of different places to look, they still couldn't find a picture of their father, in this case, in his uniform.
Right.
All right, which happens. And so I was driving around the county and I was looking, well, are there other people that, you know, their parent didn't have their uniform? There are.
Yes, there is.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because I don't want to preclude anybody from being a participant in this project.
Right. If individual, they don't have a picture of them from the military or whatever, if in uniform, and if they have a picture in just regular clothes.
Right, you know, suit or tie.
Suit, tie.
Yeah, a nice picture.
It's perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
Because we want to get their picture up there. So.
They served,
They
and
served.
they should be honored.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, Does it have to be in color, black and white, or
No, I think all the pictures I have here.
Can you show a couple examples of what we have?
Sure.
Okay. So while you're pulling those out, we are collecting these photos and forms here here at my office in Ripley. And so who do we have here?
Well, this is a picture of my dad.
Oh, you can hold it right up to the camera. Okay. We'll zoom in on it. So just stay right there. There he is. Okay. Now your dad served in, looks like World War II?
Yeah, before World War II, 1937.
Oh, in between.
In between.
So where's he stationed?
He was stationed once at Fort Belling, Florida.
Okay.
And was discharged in served from 34 to 35, and then from January 44 to April 44.
So where did he serve during that period of time?
Army.
Okay. Overseas, obviously.
He wasn't overseas.
Oh, okay.
Before that, he served in CCC camp.
Okay.
And I do have all his records and stuff, his military records.
Okay, and who else do we have here?
That's me, way back.
Here you are.
1966.
You haven't changed a bit, Dave.
Nope. A few extra pounds, but yeah.
Look, you see some of these pictures of these soldiers or Navy sailors, and they all look scared. I don't know. Is that the day you were inducted, or?
Well, that's doing basic training.
Basic training.
Yeah,
I know. We have a couple of our family members, and it's like, well, what are you thinking right now? They threw us all this way, and we had to get our shots, and we got our, and then they took our picture.
One other one I'd like to show is Bob Washburn, World War II Army Air Corps.
Mm-hmm. So. Okay, and this one, I'm sorry, who's this again?
Bob Washburn.
Okay, Bob Washburn. Okay. Yep. And he was Army, looks like.
Army Air Corps.
My dad was Army Air Corps.
Yep.
Yeah. People forget that the two of them were together at one time.
Yep.
Okay, and Jeff was just saying to me that those photos that were taken at basic camp were used for newspaper releases.
Right.
So that's why they wanted you to probably look tough and mean. Okay, So anyways, so the idea is to try to locate a photo. Mm-hmm. Now, then we fill out the form, give you guys the check for $160. Who's the check made out to?
Ripley VFW Post 2769.
Okay.
When I receive the check, I'll give you a receipt, and it's logged into our logbook, the date, the check number, the name, and the receipt number.
And so where does the money sit for now?
Right now, it's sitting in our VFW account.
Okay.
On a surplus item, line item.
Okay.
And then when time comes to pay for it, it comes out of that.
Okay, super. I am meticulous about where money goes because people lately just seem to worry about those sorts of things. So the money is well protected.
Yes.
All right, so they fill out the check, you deposit the check, and what's your time frame right now for this project?
They have to be, the application's got to be in by February 2nd, I think it is. And it takes approximately a couple weeks for them to get it made up, and then they'll send us a sample, make sure everything's okay.
Okay.
And then they'll go into production. Hopefully we can have them ready for April and have them up before Memorial Day.
Okay. So folks that are listening right now, also, I'm involved in, we mentioned Lakeshore Center for the Arts. Rick and Sue were here earlier. What we're going to do is I've lined up a special camera over at the Innovation Studios, and it's an overhead camera, and we're going to put that photo down, and we're going to take a digital picture of that, goes into the computer, and then we're going to send it to the company that does all this. And then they're going to have the application associated with that, and then all that information, as you say, goes into a sampler online, and we get to review it.
Right.
Okay. So then it's printed, and then it's sent to you guys.
Yes.
Now, who owns this banner now? Is it the VFW?
VFW.
Okay. So once it's with you guys, it's yours. And then how long do these banners last? A few years?
Well, I think Northeast has had theirs up like 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
So it depends on the quality of the material. They should last quite a while. Now, we won't leave them up all year.
Okay.
We'll take them down probably right after Veterans Day.
From May to November.
Yeah.
Dave, we're just about out of time. I want to thank you for coming today and all the great work you all do and the service you've provided our country. How about a phone number one more time, how people get a hold of you on the Hometown Heroes Project?
Sure. It's 716-736-5805.
And that's Dave while we're in, your wife may call or leave it on an answering machine or
Yes.
whatever. All right. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the show, heard a lot about what this project's about. Might have some ideas for your own community. Dave, thanks for joining us today. And
Thank you for having me.
We're going to get those pictures up there no matter what this coming year.
There you
Okay?
go. Okay.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed the show, and thanks for joining us. We're going to do this all again next Saturday right here at Access Chautauqua, 1301 on Spectrum. And it's on 2 and 8, and you can review it also on YouTube over and over again. Take care. Have I guess it's kind of damp day. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit drier over the weekend. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye now.